Well, hey, you are listening to Not Your College Life with Lisa Beals, episode number 28. In this episode, I'm going to talk about a few things that can make you the cool parent in your college student's eyes. I am Lisa Beals, host of Not Your College Life, and I am the Midwestern mom / college administrator who has seen firsthand how crazy, ridiculous, and hard we administrators make the college experience for you and your student. And that's where I come in. I am here to bridge the gap for you and your student so that you guys can make the transition from your seemingly unruly teenager into an emerging, self-sufficient, productive adult. So let's jump on in, shall we? Okay, as I shared on this episode, we're going to talk about 3 areas that you can help your student that will make you appear like a cool mom. You're the cool mom. You're the hip mom. I don't even know if they're saying that. You're the fly mom. That's not right. That's very Fresh Prince, right? It's not fly. I don't know what it is. You're the bomb. I still don't think that's it. Y'all, you need to teach me. My kids are not that age anymore. And I haven't been on campus to interact with my students. So forgive me. Anyway, I'm going to give you 3 areas. So note-taking, time management, and studying. Those are 3 areas that I'm going to give you some helpful technology apps that they may help you, right? Because who doesn't need time-saving tips on time management and note-taking? Y'all, if it's not written down, this brain's not going to remember how to do it. So anyway, I'm going to, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see, I'm going to actually navigate to some of these sites so you can actually see what they look like. But I would encourage you, give them a little test drive yourself. Many of them are free. Some of them have free trials, so you can actually try them. And don't give all your secrets at once, right? Space this knowledge out with your student. And when you do your check-in and they say blah, 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 it's hard to keep up and take notes and remind myself of everything I have to do. Well, you know what? Just send them a casual little text with this link and they'll be like, dang, mom's pretty cool. Again, y'all need to tell me what the appropriate positive adjective is for a cool mom. In the know mom. Let me know. I'll do some research on my own. Okay, so we're going to start out with note-taking. I found 6 different possible apps. I personally use Google Keep because I am an Android user. I have a Google Pixel cell phone. So that's my app of choice. It's convenient. It's easy. It'll even let me do a little checklist for my marketing, right? I can actually check it off. I don't have to worry about deleting it. I can actually check that I purchased it. I can do the same thing for my to-do list if I need it. Hey Google will turn on and easily add a note hands-free while I'm driving, because isn't that when you always think of something you need, is when you're driving and you can't stop and write it down or text it into your notes on your phone? So use
Here's a result from the web.
I have to turn her off. Use the technology. Use it. So Google Keep is one that I like to use. And Evernote. Y'all, I learned about Evernote when I was trying to learn some office organization. There are free plans, there are paid plans. This does take a little practice. It does take use to become savvy at this. Just like a planner, right? A paper planner is useless if you don't use it. You have to invest the time. You have to invest the time in inputting the data and validating the data and using the data to make it helpful, right? Garbage in, garbage out. So it's like that with any tool. So Evernote is going to double as a notes, as an idea place, as another sort. It could also double as a time management app as well. So check out Evernote. Then we have Note Anytime. It is an app for your phone. This one does come at a cost. However, what I really liked about it is it's for the creative. So look at, when you hop in there, take a look. It's not restricted just to text, right? You can add pictures, you can add stickers. They can take pictures and then annotate with their own handwritten notes so that the notes are more meaningful. So I'm going to suggest that a creative student type might enjoy this kind of app to help them with their notes. It just, if you do some research on note taking, this is the kind of variety that really helps instill the content in your student brain. So this may be too much free format for some of the type A folks where they just want notes, bullets, footnotes. It takes all kinds, right? This one is it's pretty cool creative tool. Then we have Notion. Notion was the other note-taking tool, all in one workspace. Everybody wants to be the be-all, end-all. So you'll see this is a good source for like team notes, right? So if you're working on a project and you have notes that you're taking together, or if you have a study buddy, right? And I say it's your student. If your student has a study buddy or study group, isn't it nice? I know. I know at work when we're collaborating on a document, I love a Google Doc. This is the same thing where everybody can edit the same document and see it all. So it's just not one contributor. So there's Notion as another option. Notability is the other one that I saw. And this one is very similar to Note Anytime, because look how creative you can be with this. It's not just text. You can draw, you can freehand. It's available on tablets, mobile devices, laptops, desktops. But I love an app that gives you such flexibility for note taking. It's not just text. It's pictures, it's screenshots, it's freehand. So check out Notability. And then the last one is good old Google Docs. And if you don't know what Google Docs are or haven't used Google Docs, come on, do it. Go learn. I love me some Google Docs. I use Google Drive for my family photos. I share those with my family. For my family calendar, I use Google for my podcast notes and my topics. I organize them within my folders, within my Google Drive. And then I also, when my team needs to start a doc, before we jumped into like OneNote and Microsoft Teams, we would use the Google Docs a lot because it's so friendly. And here's the other thing, cross institutions. So as this COVID thing was hitting us, there were, especially in March and April, right? Because the pressing issue for several of us was graduation, commencement. We were trying to figure out what's everybody going to do? How are you handling it? So we just threw together a Google Doc and put it out there on the interwebs and said, drop your stuff in there, put your university, your contact information, and all your fill in the gaps, fill in the columns with all of the different topics that we were looking for answers to. And we shared this globally with commencement officers. And how helpful was that to share ideas, collaborate, and we've also now documented this for history. What did we do at this last pandemic for commencement? We've done something similar within the Big Ten related to end of term and the extension. Do you extend their ability to withdraw? Do you allow them another pass-fail option? Did you extend the deadline for students to select a grading option that would not impact their GPA? We put all that out in the Google Drive. Again, so we could share, help inform, and document for history. It's a great tool. It's a great tool. Okay. Then we're going to go to the time management. So time management tips. That was all note taking. Time management tips. Of course, they should order their food online using their app. I would be shocked in 2020 and hashtag year of COVID that an institution that has brought their students back on campus does not have some kind of order ahead app for pickup. So you don't have to wait in line. That's the last thing universities want, are gatherings and lines. Okay, so have them check that out, or you can Google it. If you can't find it, let me know. I know, as I've talked about before, sometimes you just got to know the secret magic word to get results, because we administrators have our own lingo, right? We have our own lingo. And if you don't know the lingo, you're not going to get the Googles to tell you what you need to know. So send me a DM, email me, lisa@lisabeals.com, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm at Not Your College Life with Lisa Beals. Shoot me a message. You guys, it won't take long for me. I've got contacts. I'm not gloating. I'm saying I have people that I know. I've been in this business for almost 20 years. I know people. And if I don't know that answer, I can reach out probably faster. Don't feel bad. Message me. I want to help. Okay, and then you know what's cool is laundry. Here's hoping your kiddos will do laundry at some point. Face masks, clothes, sheets, maybe sheets. But if they do laundry, some universities actually have an app on the phone where your student can see when there's availability. So they're not coming and going. They're not wasting their time. It's pretty handy. Okay, then another one. Remember the milk. It's not really note-taking. It's a task list, right? So it's a to-do list. You can get reminders via email, text, Twitter. That's nice. It will actually text you a reminder. Who doesn't need that? Y'all, I may have to do Remember the Milk. I love that app name, by the way. You can make your to-do list, and is it an email? Is it a phone call? Is it an errand? Is it a letter? And your due date. You can share it with others. You can attach it to your Dropbox or Google Drive. You can even search your tasks. Smart lists. They have smart lists. So these are based on priority. You can see, oh, nice. It's for your desktop, for your tablet, for your phone, or for your Apple Watch. It is web-based, so you are always in sync no matter where you go. It does have sync with Gmail, Google Calendar, Evernote. You can add to your task list by sending an email, a tweet, or asking your Google Assistant, your Alexa, or your Siri. So it merges with those. You can sync it with Outlook, not just Gmail. You AOL users. Okay, I get it. I'm off on a tangent here. I apologize. You AOL users. I get you want to hang on to that AOL account. That's fine. It's the first, right? You are the OG, right? I think that's right. You are the email OG if you still have an AOL account. However, you are also putting yourself in a generational box with students today. You are going to be called a Karen or a boomer. Those are not good adjectives. Those are somewhat derogatory. Hey, boomer. Okay, boomer. All right, Karen. Those are not things you want to hear. So, keep your AOL account. Use it for whatever you want. Just limit your use. Create a Gmail account. It's free. It's easy. It's today. It's 2020. Come on. Step your foot into the 21st century. You're here. It's the year 2020. You've been in the 21st century 20 years. You can do it. I'm not telling you kill the AOL account. Keep it for posterity. You do you, boo. But I'm telling you, if you're serious about being the cool mom, whatever that descriptor is, you gotta move into a Gmail account. Something other than AOL. Okay? Don't be a boomer. Okay, back on this. Okay, so remember the milk. I'm gonna try Remember the Milk, and I'll let you know what I think of it. I think it's a pretty cool app. Then we've got iStudies Pro. The iStudies Pro is, guys, this is like the whole shebang. It's pretty slick. If you take a look at it, it looks like a whole time management in a box. Tons of interfaces. It's got some good tutorials. It's got where students can use it as a planner and build in assignments. It's got a grade calculator. It will integrate with multiple emails and calendars. It will send them reminders and notifications. They can put their homework assignments in it. This is the paper planner digitally with reminders built in. Now, you know your student best. Do they need the tactile? I need to put everything in my planner, highlight it, and this is going to be my Bible. I'm going to carry it with me. Or do they need online where there are reminders and notifications sent to them? Or is it both? Right? Does that reinforce everything they need to do in their organization if they're putting it in both places? They get to decide. But this iStudent Pro, oh man, you guys, this is pretty slick. If any of your students use it, do me a favor and let me know. I'd love to know a review. And then we've got Evernote. Again, Evernote is not just note-taking, it is also a project management tool. There is a free version, there is a paid version. Free gets you everything you need to know. You can create folders, you can create a brainstorming folder, you can create to-dos with milestones. It's a pretty powerful tool. So there we go. We've got note-taking, time management. Now we're moving on to study apps. I've got a few. So Quizlet, my daughter, my oldest, used Quizlet a lot as she was going through nursing school. It's a pretty slick tool. It's a great little, it's a great app to further study material. And in nursing, this boggled my mind. It boggled her mind until she figured it out. But in nursing, you guys, they do multiple choice, which you would think would be easier. But actually, in the multiple choice, all four choices are right. You have to pick the most right answer. Seriously. If that's not going to mess with your head. But I guess, if anything, you really want your nurses really well trained. So, shout out to IU School of Nursing for their most right answer. Kudos. Anyway, I'm sure that's not the only subject that they're really incredibly helpful for. But from what I've seen, everybody learns differently. And in my years of searching for study tools and how to better retain material, what I have observed more than anything is the key is a variety of inputs. Handwriting notes, hand typing notes, reviewing note cards, doing little study tests, teaching someone else. These are all different various ways to build those synapses in your brain to help those connections. And in the end, those new synapses are new memories. I learned this is very rudimentary. I learned this when my son was still alive, and someday I'll need to tell this story. But anyway, my son was diagnosed. He was born with lissencephaly, which means a smooth brain. And I learned that all of the wrinkles and curves in our brain are where the neurons and synapses occur. And when your brain is smooth, you don't have all of those to build synapses and connections for all the things you do as a person, right? So in order for him to build a new connection, for example, this is how you roll over from your tummy to your back. It takes repetition, doing the motion over and over and over. And so I think the typical infant learns to roll over, around 3 to 4 months old, will roll from one way to the other. He was 2.5. And then it took us another year of repetition of the movement. It took us another year for him to roll from back to tummy. So it took us to age 2.5 to get from tummy to back, and then another year from back to tummy. We never learned them to master sitting up independently, so we kind of peaked right there. But anyway, I digress. That was an example. You need all of those different avenues for the, quote, normal brain to build those neuron pathways for those new memories. And so to have an app, a quiz, handwritten note, teaching someone, looking at note cards, those are all ways to build that. So these study tips, these study apps are alternatives that your student can put in their back pocket to help reinforce material they're learning, especially in subjects where they're not strong. So Quizlet was a great one for my daughter in nursing school. Another good resource for math, for those of you that do not have a strong math student, is the Rose Holman page. Wolfram Alpha is more Q&A, not necessarily study. So I guess Wolfram Alpha appears to be more of a place to validate answers. We've got eNote, literature experts. So you can browse guides, ask questions, find study guides, and submit questions to be answered by actual scholars. And you can search other answers. Now, this is a paid application, and as you share this with your student, I would remind them about cheating and plagiarism. Okay? Remind them what it means. These are nice summaries of books. Yeah. So this is a good literature source was eNotes. Okay? And then the YouTube has some good tutorials. The Khan Academy is on YouTube. Again, the Khan Academy has a variety of topics. I think they're mostly science-based. Then there is YouTube Crash Course. And if you look at their site, it will tell you thereabout is educational videos about chemistry, European history, and some writing and math. So they have got, let's see how many, they've got a healthy number of subscribers, 11 million. Crash Course has over 1,000 videos So they've got a great healthy inventory. Your student can do a search and find the category they're looking for. And then Bozeman Science is another YouTube channel with how-to videos, tutorials on science topics, okay? So these also will be helpful for your student when they're really struggling with understanding material. Just having another way to explain it can sometimes really make a difference. Here's a video on the synapse, on neurons, on electrochemical gradients. This channel, they have 1 million subscribers. Check the about, because there's tons of content providers out on the YouTube. Just look at their source and validate them to make sure. But I've looked at the ones that I've recommended, and I think they are all helpful sources personally. Okay? So there you go. You guys, I gave you 3 topics that you can shoot some helpful text to your student when you hear they are struggling with note-taking, time management, or studying. If you found this helpful, I'm so glad. Share this episode with a friend. Share it with another mom that could use some information, some knowledge in their back pocket to help their student when their student may be struggling. And it'll give them brownie points because they'll be super cool. Yes, share it with a friend. And if you don't follow me on the social, why not? Please do. I'd love to talk with y'all and see how you're doing. I post some relevant recent articles related to higher education and college today and study tips and mental health for college kids. I'm over at Not Your College Life with Lisa Beals on the Facebook, and same handle on Instagram. I am not as active on the Instagram just yet, still trying to manage all my time. And lastly, if you would not mind, do me a favor, take 5 minutes and go write me a review on your podcast platform. Go to iTunes, go to Stitcher, go to Spotify. Do me a favor, write me a review. That review will let the platform know that I'm providing content that you find value in and that other people may as well. If it's not a good review, y'all, I'm okay with that too, because that helps inform me. Don't just give me 1 star and say terrible. If you're going to give me 1 star, you say terrible and give me some information about why so that I can make it better. I want to make it better. All right, friends, I'll talk to you soon.